All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for hopping on. To start off, can you guys share with the audience your brand, what niche it's in, and also, what type of products you guys sell?
Yeah, we run an apparel brand, basically a clothing brand. It's kind of like in the sports niche, basically. We mainly sell like hoodies, t-shirts, sweatpants, stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically kind of like rundown. We just run like just an apparel brand, basically.
Awesome. Can you guys share, where you guys were at revenue wise when you guys joined the Meta Ads at Scale program and kind of where you guys are today?
Yeah, when we joined the program, just in like a 30 or $40,000 a month. So that was like before the program, and then after the program, I think we've been able to do 3 consecutive six-figure months, which has been really really cool. So the growth has definitely been nice.
Yeah, awesome. And can you guys describe, I guess, before you joined Meta Ads at Scale, what was your guys' like meta ad strategy compared to kind of where you guys are at now with it?
Yeah, for sure. Our meta ad strategy before, we kind of really didn't have a strategy. We're just like shooting from the hip. So we would basically just like watch YouTube videos and kind of like see like what other people were doing and the same like niches us and like just kind of emulate them. So basically we were just running like broad CBOs, like one ad set with like just like our like creative that we made and then just run that. But yeah, before meta ads at scale, we kind of had no direction or like no clue on like how to scale properly. So that was like a big bottleneck for us because when we did have like a decent campaign, we would just run into like a lot of issues when we were trying to scale that. For example, when we would like increase the budget, it would stop working and then stuff like that. Just yeah, it was all over the place. We didn't really have a strategy before meta ads at scale.
Awesome. Well, glad you guys, have more fleshed out strategy now that you've been through the program. And what would you guys say? What were the main challenges before you guys joined Meta Ads at Scale? Like, what made you guys want to hop into a program like this?
I think we could see from the outside that it wasn't. I mean, it was about ads, but there was also kind of other things that would be offered in the program. So email branding overall as a whole, ad strategy, and like even copy, right? All those type of things. We kind of knew that this was kind of like a full package. It wasn't kind of just like you're gonna come in here and all you're gonna learn is ads. I think we've learned a pretty extensive like skill set so far from everything. So that was kind of what really got us to want to be part of the program.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's one of the probably most under talked about parts of the program is just that we don't only help with ads, we help with the whole kind of ecosystem. And the market has sophisticated. Ads aren't enough anymore, right? You got to have your email marketing, your SMS marketing, your website has to be dialed right. And I think you guys
Exactly.
implemented all that stuff from the get-go, and that's kind of what allowed you guys to really scale super fast. And yeah, so I'm glad that was a kind of a big selling point for you guys. How has your guys' strategy, would you say, changed since you joined the program?
For sure. Like now we have like a more structured strategy. Before we were just like shooting from the hip, just launching random campaigns or just doing stuff randomly. I know like a big thing you advocate for is like having like more like systemized approach where you kind of just track everything, track your inputs, your outputs, and all that. We started to implement that, and that helped a lot. For example, like launching a certain amount of creatives a week, testing like just like different angles and stuff like that. Emails as well. So basically, like we just have like a more like we just know what we're doing now. So it's like before we were kind of just going into like either like whatever thing that we're doing, like running ads, product launch. We were kind of going in like clueless. We would just set up a campaign on meta ads and then just let it rip. But like now it's like we kind of have a more systemized approach. It's like, okay, we need to do this, that, and that. And basically like just mainly came from like a lot of learning from you and all like the weekly coaching calls, the one-on-ones that you kind of like gave us more direction on how to like run our business more properly.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like that's another probably one of the under talked about parts too, is just even the way to think about, running a brand. And a lot of people make the mistake of they launch a few ads, they get a winning ad, and then they kind of don't do anything after that, right? Where it's like this is a long-term thing. You have to kind of build those habits where, hey, we're launching X amount of statics a week, X amount of videos a week. And I think you guys, again, why you guys are case studies, because you guys implement everything I teach and the results really show. You guys scaled incredibly fast, which is amazing. And what would you guys say was the time commitment required, when you guys first joined the program compared to like now, how you guys feel like working inside your ad accounts?
I would say, I think it depends on a couple things, how much experience you have, right, coming into the program. I think if you've like, if this is kind of your first go, like this is your first brand or your second brand, and you haven't done this type of stuff before, then could be a bit higher, more of a time commitment, maybe like, I don't know, 5 to 10 hours a week, 10 to 15. I think for us, we had some prior experience before with like ecom in general. So I think there was definitely a time commitment, but not as much. If I had to put a number, I would say what, Dom, like 5 to 8 hours maybe a week.
Yeah, it's just mainly like when we first started the program, you kind of like outlined like what we had to get done, and it was definitely like a lot of stuff on the to-do list. So that's why it kind of took a lot of hours to get all that stuff done. But like as the weeks go on and you kind of progress into the mentorship, it just gets like lower and lower. So
Yeah, and
it's just mainly like you just have to do the stuff that you have to get done. So like shooting creatives, launching like ads, making emails, just other stuff like that. But yeah, definitely like in the beginning, there's like a decent amount of time commitment. It's not too much, but after that, you kind of get used to it and it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think was something that I always like to share, with everyone in the group. It's so important. And something that I learned with all the big brands I work with is just like, you have to build the machine, right? And once the machine is built, then, which it does take some time, right? Building the email marketing machine, the SMS marketing machine, the creative machine. But once you kind of have all those things built, it's more or less, and your ad account, right? It's kind of servicing the machine at that point and making the new creatives, making a few new, your emails for the month, right? And so there is a little bit of upfront work, but that's kind of really what allows you to scale so profitably and fast is by having those things, that infrastructure done. And the brands that, do struggle in general, they don't have that infrastructure, right? They don't have that machine built. So moving on, based on, just where you guys are now, like, what do you guys see the next 6 to 12 months? What does that look like for you guys revenue wise, you think?
I think now, because there's a lot more of that like foundation in play, meaning like now we like, for example, one big component is like our email marketing, right? Like now when someone comes in via an ad, we know that we like will have them in our ecosystem, and we're much more likely to be able to convert them. The website is more optimized, the content is more optimized. So I think that with all the optimizations that we've been able to kind of build with Meta Ads at scale, I think that I don't really have much of a doubt that in the next like 3 to 6 months that we can do, $250,000 a month obviously would be a next immediate target, and then from there just 500,000 and so on and so forth. We don't know what the limit is, but we know the limit is like very, very high. So
nice. So $1 million a month by the end of the year for sure, right?
100%.
Sir, yes, sir.
100%.
I have 1,000% confidence in you guys. I mean, like I said, you guys scaled probably the fastest anyone has scaled in this group. And you guys work also faster than everybody. So you guys are my favorite types of people to work with because you guys just get after it. So kudos to you guys just for that. But I really truly I think you guys are gonna have a massive year, which I'm really excited to see, where you guys go from here. And what would you say? What are your favorite parts about Meta Ads at scale and working with me?
Yeah, I think one of the big selling points for me was when we were kind of looking into the program, I came across you on Twitter, but it was a part where you said like you would like kind of do everything for us in the first month, and then coming from like a place where we had no direction or kind of didn't know what we were doing, like having that, like you basically kind of going into our ad account, making the ads for us and kind of just like guiding us like, okay, this is how you really do it. That was like a big thing for us because like we didn't before, we were kind of directionless. So that was a huge selling point on why we joined as well. And then another thing is just like the one-on-ones and like just like your insight on the entire business. So most people, like most times you buy like a course or a mentorship and it's just mainly on one thing, like Facebook ads, Meta ads, whatever. And like just you being there and like kind of doing like a full audit on our business and be like, yo, this is like what you guys are kind of lacking in, this is what you got to do. And then just holding us accountable. I know like sometimes like when shit was going bad, you would just be like, yo, you guys gotta like step your shit up, you gotta be launching creatives, or you gotta stop spending money on this and that, and then kind of just like keeping us in check. That's another big thing for me. But Kevin, I don't know if you want to go into more.
I think one big thing is like there's like a saying, I don't know how exactly it is, but it's like if you always play offense, you will always make money, but if you don't know how to play defense, you'll never like keep money. And like I think that with this, like we were always so used to being on the offense and just like trying to be as aggressive as possible, but I think that that's one thing that helped us a lot. We're like you kind of saying like kind of like being more on top of looking at your ad account, like checking it in the morning, checking it in the evening, if not getting attached to shit, like if something is not doing well, like pull it back, pull the budget back, let Meta earn back its spend. So I think that kind of helps a lot with just maturing kind of in this kind of space, and that's definitely a part of it, playing defense with your ad account.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a huge thing, is just part of the playing defense too is like the email marketing, SMS marketing, like that backs up your ads, right? So it's just so important to have that also in place. And would you guys say, are you guys surprised about the results you guys got in the program?
Fuck no.
No.
Not at all. I think we're not surprised because I think we know like that we were willing to do whatever it took, and any single time you told us to do something, like Dominic and I would make sure we get it done. So I want to say I'm not surprised, to be honest, but I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We're not surprised in general. Just we've been working so hard. We've been in the e-com space for a minute, but yeah, we're just 100K a month to us, or 130K a month is like it's just like a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Trying to go like much higher.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I remember when you guys first started, I just could tell you guys had that drive where like you guys were gonna do it like no matter what it would take. And so, like I said, you guys are just, like best type of people to work with just because you guys just take action, right? And action taking is massive for ecom, and it's not just a one-time action or a few times, right? It's an over and over and over again. That's kind of the thing with ecom.
Yeah.
You can't really play ecom. You're either in it or you're not in it, or your brand's not going to succeed, right? And so you guys definitely have that skill set, have that drive. And if someone was on the fence about joining meta ads at scale, what would you guys tell them?
I would say just do it, right? I think people are always so willing to kind of like go into debt, for example, or kind of go to like a 4-year university, and like they'll like pay that money for a degree for a job that is not guaranteed, right? And they're basically betting on something at a much higher amount. Like with meta ads at scale, you're going to be paying a fraction of what you'd be paying at these like big universities or whatever, and the skills you're learning, you're not going to learn that shit anywhere else. So just let it rip.
Yeah, I would say the same. Just lock in. It's like the value and knowledge you're getting for the price is like well worth it. And even if you're like crunched on money, like you do have like a payment plan as well, so like you don't have to fork up the money up front, and then there's like no way you don't make the money back. If you don't make that money back, there's like something wrong with you.
Something wrong with you. If you don't make the money back, like you legitimately didn't try hard enough, and that's just the honest truth.
You gotta fucking invest into your knowledge. Like you can't be just like following like this random generic BS advice that you see online. Like if you go with the program like Meta Ads at Scale, it's like more tailored towards you, and then you have like someone to reach out to whenever, one-on-one, like that like looks into your business and helps you out. You can like in Meta Ads at Scale, we can message you anytime via Slack, so that's a good thing, because whenever like shit's going south, you just drop a message, you'll kind of give us a solution or some insight and stuff like that, so it's always helpful. But yeah, if someone's on the fence, like just do it, bro. Like 10K, like you'll make that back.
Lock in.
Just lock in.
I was going to say, worst comes worst, you learn meta ads, you learn email marketing, SMS marketing, and you can go start an agency, right? And go make some money, right? But obviously, we're here to scale brands, but like you said, the skills that you learn, you can take with you wherever you go, right? And so I think that's an added benefit. Obviously not the goal of the program. The goal is to help every brand in here crush and achieve their dreams and leave their 9-to-5s if you have one. We've already had a ton of people do that, and I know you guys are well on your way there. But yeah, that's really it. Any final thoughts? Do you guys want to tell any of the users at all?
Not really. That's kind of it. Just like the main topic is honestly just lock in. Like you got to take the leap of faith.
Stop being a coward.
That's
all it really is.
It's like you don't regret like paying for knowledge, like how you're saying, like it's useful. You could start an agency if you want, like the other worst case scenario. But, like this knowledge goes a long way. You can use it in like so many things.
Facts.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Really appreciate it. And you're going to help a ton of people. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yes, sir. Peace.
See you guys.